Huggy, when the lack of inspiration hits, there are things we can do about it. You're not alone in the struggle. You could be on your window seat, taking in the sun, looking at the plants, or enjoy the company of your trusty daddy long leg on your patio on this nice day. You could look at your wonderful pool, thinking how great it would be if it was actually open and you could go in there. Or you could walk your cat. Come on. Come on. Or you could just kick this pinecone. The world is truly full of wonders. One of my favorite things to do when I'm in a funk and I don't really know what to do or where to go is I take an old sketchbook and I flip through it. This one is from my first quarter or semester in America, and it starts in 2013 with a bunch of assignments and dragons because I love dragons. But here's the deal. I found some awesome designs from 2017, and today we're gonna redraw that. And so 3 years later, we are going to see what I can do with those guys and hopefully get me some inspiration back. What's up, you wonderful freshwater eels? So what we're doing today is redrawing old drawings. I mean, you saw that, that's set, we good. But to be more specific, those drawings were supposed to be adoptables. If you don't know what adoptables are, they are a form of commission-based drawing. You design a monster or a thing, and then you sell it online for money. And people buy it. And that's basically what adoptables are. It's a kind of an awesome... I wouldn't call it an industry, but people do make a living out of it. And honestly, good for them. You spend your day drawing dragons and you're like, maybe I can make money out of it. And you know what? Hell yeah, you can. Honestly, in the world, if you want to make money out of something, you probably can. So go out there and live your dreams. I don't personally do them very often. They're very fun to do, but it's hard to keep trying to monetize everything you do. As freelancer, I see a lot of that on Twitter. It's when everything you do is monetized, then it becomes about how much can I sell this? Who wants it? How to make money out of it? And it becomes less about what do I want to do? How do I enjoy this hobby and this work I do? So back to what we're doing today. I wanted to do this because I was looking through my sketchbook. I'm planning to move soon, so I just wanted to look around and clean it up. And I love looking at my old sketchbooks because it's such a blast of the past, because I remember most of those drawings and I remember doing them, but it's also so shocking to see what you used to draw like and how with time and effort it changed so much when, you know, that was the best you could do at the time, and now it's just, you can do so much better. So it's really cool to see, and I love looking through old sketchbooks. I actually probably spent too much time looking through them and not enough time putting them away. But that's not your problem, is it? I just want to say that what you just saw on screen is me desperately trying to find the right colors. And if there is a thing I suck at, it's trying to find right colors for design. I don't know, there is something about it that I can't do. And I think that's a very digital problem, because when I paint, it's easier, but I also have a limited color palette. On Photoshop, you can pick whatever color with whatever value and hue you want. It doesn't matter, they're all available. And so being able to figure out exactly which one I want that will work with the other, can't do it. Just like, my brain goes down. And it was a problem here because I sketched those awesome design, but I probably had an idea of color whenever I was doing it. But I mean, it's been 3 years, I don't know what I wanted, and so I don't even have a clue to go with. So the colors were really up to me on this one. That's just not great. It's not good for me. And I don't like my job being harder than it has to be. I mean, given I'm the creator and I should come up with my own colors, but like, no, I don't want that. That's hard. I mean, it's a little bit of a joke, but also the way I go around this problem that I have with colors and designs is that I usually find one thing I can hold on to. So either I find a color or I find a pattern that I can attach some colors to. Basically, I just need an anchor to remind me of what I'm working around and with. Otherwise, I just get lost in the vast ocean of available colors. What's interesting in this redraw is that it's not exactly all a redraw, because I came to realize that the poses I used to do were far more varied and dynamic than what I do now, which sucks to realize that you kind of lost a skill along the way. But I wanted the drawings to be good, so I was just like, alright, well, I did some sketches and redraws. I'm just going to take the original sketch and then just build on top of that, because the sketches are very good to begin with. And so they're kind of redraw, or kind of drawing with a sprinkle of redraw. How about that? And that's something I realized recently, which is at some point you gotta let it go. Like, I used to try to push something harder and harder, even if it wasn't working, because I wanted it to work so bad, and I thought I could, but at some point, you should just cut your losses. If your background isn't working, then change it. Or find a picture on Google, slap it on there, and paint over it. It doesn't have to all be so stiff. Perfect example. I was drawing a mermaid, I slapped some colors at the background, and I was like, alright, I can work with this. And I tried for like 30 minutes to make it work, and it just wasn't, because I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted, and there was no depth and whatever. And so I was just like, wait, I can just delete this, find a picture of underground water somewhere on Google, slap it on there, paint over, use the colors and the shapes that were already there, and be done. Sometimes art doesn't have to be complicated. You can just accept that you need more work on something and use the tools at your disposal to make your life easier, because you're gonna paint or draw thousands of pictures in a year, or less or more, and you just learn to let go. And that's a really funny statement I'm making, because my mentor in undergrad, the first guy in America that was like, alright, you're gonna do art and you're gonna do it good, he used to say, learn to not give a shit. Learn to let go, because it doesn't matter. But it does in a way. So you have to learn how to care about what you're doing, but not care enough that you can just move on, because it's just going to be a speck in your entire art career and art life that really sometimes it doesn't matter as much as we make it to matter. Now, what's even funnier about this is that I don't even practice it. I mean, I know, and it's something that I came to understand better with the more I was drawing. But I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard to not make every piece your child and so important. So it's still something I'm struggling with, but at least I have the concept in the back of my mind, and it's something I can try to grow with. Okay, enough about this. This is actually not what I wanted to talk about in this video, but it kind of just happened, so you have to hear about it. I feel like I say that every video. I guess you don't have to, but I mean, if you're on the video and watching, I guess you are. So that's not food for thought. That's just me rambling. Don't mind me over here. What did I want to talk about, you ask? Well, you're not asking because it's YouTube and I'm recording this way before you even will lay eye upon it. But I wanted to talk about how I handle being in a flunk. Well, just like every other artist, I don't really handle being in an art flunk well. I just kind of become sad and depressed, and I don't know what to do with myself, and it starts a cycle of thinking I'm trash, and then rediscovering that I am in fact not trash. I have been drawing for a while, and at this point I know how to do it, but I just have to remind my hand and my brain that I can in fact draw, and that so is my true answer to that question? Now, my more professional answer would be to find a thing that makes you want to draw again, or makes you remember that you are good at drawing, like redrawing old sketches. Yeah, we made it to the actual point of this video. Congratulations to everyone who stayed with me through this ride of me talking. I personally like redraws. I think I try to do them every year or so, just because my art has been changing a lot the past couple of years, because I'm not set up as the most me I am yet. Does that even make sense? But basically, I still feel like I need to find myself as an artist, although I'm getting really close to the goal. Not that it's tangible or I can tell you how or why, but I'm getting there. So I like to redraw every year a few drawings, because the change of style is really interesting to look back on, and honestly, it's like a challenge. I'm challenging myself to do better, to beat my past self's ass, in a way, I guess. But I mean, redrawing something is almost cathartic to have a tangible version of 2 drawings, like a proof of improvement, really. It's a show of what you did before and how you handle it now, and that change that you went through. It's interesting to see what changes and what you have now as far as skills go, but also what you lost along the way. Although ultimately it's about making yourself feel good because you crushed it and you're better than you past self. And that's what matters. But what's cool is that I always loved those designs, and they ended up lost and forgotten in a sketchbook. And that's kind of why I love keeping old sketchbooks around and combing through them every so often, is because sketchbooks are as much about practicing as it is building a bank of ideas that you can come back to. Just because you sketched it a year ago or 2 years ago doesn't mean that the idea isn't usable anymore. It's your idea, you came up with it, well then use it, you know? But just like most of my own advice, it's hard to follow them, and remember that I'm allowed to go through what I used to do and pick and choose ideas from there, because I mean, ultimately, all of it is mine. It was my brain as much as it is my brain now. So, if you're in a flunk, look through your sketchbooks, decide, wow, this was cool, I should do it again. And then do it again, and see where that leads you. Ooh, actually, you know what? If you guys listen to this and want to do it, then you should post it on Instagram and tag me in it. That way I can see it, and then you feel validated for your effort, because your efforts are valid. Yay! And also, more selfishly, I adore looking at Redraws. I think that's super fun. And there you go. So if you make one, tag me in it, I can see it, everybody's happy. Well, that's all for today. I'm done recording sound and talking to myself in this room while waving my hands that you cannot see for today. I hope you have a wonderful, sunny, cloudy, whatever weather you have day. And I will see you later. Bye!
Come on. You, good job. Come on, Croc. Your legs work. Kind of.